see.
Oh. Tell Facebook.
Oh, you don't have to. That's fine.
I see you.
All right, we'll get started in just a moment. I want to make sure that people can find this because we're doing it a little bit different than we did yesterday. Okay? So if you're replaying this video, you probably want to fast forward to about just a couple minutes. Hi Abby, hi Jen, hi Vlada, hi Jenny, hi Ann, Sue, welcome. Always a pleasure to have you in yoga. Hi Deb, Sharamissa, how you doing? Gagan, how you doing? Jillian, happy belated birthday. Tammy, welcome. Hi Patty, hope you're doing well today. Hi Carolyn. Hey Grace, I hope you and Brad and Grayson are doing this together today. All right. There's Lisa. Hi Lisa. Hey Dan, Lisa and Dan. Anytime they go on vacation, they send me pictures doing tree poses and crow poses. So thankful for that. Hi Lori, hope you're all doing well. Hope you get to test out that new Lululemon mat today. Welcome Natalie. Hey Leah, how you doing? And the whole family. Looks like the whole family's there. That's awesome. Morning Laurel. Okay, we got quite a crew with us today. Hi Clint and Mary, joining us from Chicago. So glad you're here. Sarah, Thad, and family, joining us from Lafayette, Indiana. So glad you're here. Lambo's here too. All right, doggy yoga. I hope you could show us how to do down dog today. Hey Jess, how's it going? And yes, of course, Patty, I'm matching my mat. You can see right over there, right back over there, there's a couple more, so, yeah. Okay. Good morning, Tanya. I love that picture of you and your daughters doing Payo yesterday. That was great. That's why we do what we do. Okay. Nadia and Ruby, hello. I'm so glad you're here today, doing yoga with your mom. That's awesome. Oh, and the kids are joining Tanya as well. That's so great. Hi, Jeremy. Outstanding. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to dim the lights real quick and then I'll put them back up. Is that okay? All right. So as we go ahead and get started on our mats, let's just find a spot, either on our mats, on our floors, wherever we're at. And just find a spot where we can settle in for just a few minutes, Going to take an opportunity to prepare our mind, prepare our bodies for our practice today. And I've got a 75-minute practice lined up for us. And so if you're ready to go, and if you have my playlist, I put it in the link. There's an Apple playlist. Samantha Schultz shared a Spotify playlist. Go ahead and start that right now if you want to. Okay? If not, I put some recommendations there, or just let's do some yoga together. Okay? All right. So as we find that comfortable spot on our mat, or on our floor, wherever we're at, if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. And just allow yourself to settle in. Allow yourself to just find a little bit of relaxation. Just maybe releasing some of the muscle tension on our bodies. And allow ourselves to find a little calm and some peace. And maybe then start connecting with our breath. Just take a nice inhale, maybe just a nice refreshing exhale, a releasing exhale. Just bring it in and maybe 2 more just like that. Feeling better already. Control. We can't always control what goes on the outside. And now more than ever, that's what we're feeling. But we have the opportunity to always control what's going on the inside. That's inside our minds, it's inside our thoughts. And what we want to make sure that we do is just avoid trying to control our thoughts. Let them happen. But also, let's not let those thoughts get the best of us. And so don't let the thoughts control us either. We call that mindfulness. And so where we're at right now, we can react, and that's mindless. And sometimes when we react, we're reacting out of fear, we're reacting out of anxiety, we're reacting out of stress. And oftentimes that reaction is not really true to who we are. And so instead we be more mindful and we respond. We focus how to truly respond, knowing that sometimes no response is an appropriate response. The nice thing about our yoga practice today is it's just that, it's a practice. And it's practice honing some of those skills that we can then apply off the mat. Yoga, just like life, is a balance of holding on and letting go. It's a dance between control and surrender. And it begins right where we're at right now, right here. Not where we were yesterday, and that's something into the future. Because if we're thinking about yesterday, if we're thinking about the past, then we're living in a state that has already happened. We're living in a mode of regret. We're living in a mode of perhaps anger or anxiety. If we're living in the future, we're in a state that hasn't happened yet. So we don't know what the outcomes are. But if we predetermine the outcomes, if we set expectations, then that's an opportunity to create disappointment. It's an opportunity to create unhappiness. And so we let go of the past. But what we do hold on to is the present, right now. This is all we have, right here. And this is pretty darn good. Our health club, our gym. It's more than buildings. It's more than weights and equipment. You can see right now it's community, it's connections, it's people, it's craving interaction. We have the present, and we're here right now in that. So let's treat this present as a gift. We'll continue our practice in a seated position. Let's go ahead and find that seated position. And let me go ahead and turn the lights up. From this seated position, we're going to start with some breath. The same breath we did yesterday, if you joined me, it's called a 4-7-8 breath, and that's the cadence of our breath pattern. And it's one of those breaths that's really used for calming anxiety and breaking through stress and smoothing out our breath pattern. And so it's a 4-count inhale through our nose or our mouth, a 7-count hold at the top, and an 8-count exhale. So anytime we have a longer exhale than the inhale, it's a calming breath. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll inhale for 4. And then hold at 7. And then exhale through your nose or mouth for that nice long 8 count. And inhale for 4. And hold. And then exhale. And do that 3 more times. Usually with the 4-7-8 breath, we do this about 5 to 10 times. Feel that lift, feel the length of your spine. And then exhale, soften through your belly, soften through your body. On your next inhale, notice the coolness of the air. As it enters through your nose or mouth, hold. And then exhale. One last time, inhale. And hold. And then that exhale. When we have control of our breath, we have control of our disposition. And now just free breath. Inhale and exhale as deeply as we can. That 3-part yoga breath, breathing in through the nose or mouth. Without the hold at the top, even tempo. In and out. And we'll use that breath to guide our path. We'll use that breath to guide the pace in which we move and the depth of our postures today. If we find that breath is constrained in any way, that's our signal to ourselves. Ease back, choose humility. Good. We'll begin moving. And this is inspired by Yoga with Adriene, so I want to give her appropriate props. Bring our arms out to the side, and then bring our fingertips on to our shoulders, and just start drawing circles with our elbows. Pick any direction of those circles and make those circles as big or as small as you want. And we're going to work a little bit on the neck and shoulders right here and start loosening them up. And then we're going to focus on the spine. Go ahead and switch directions on those circles. Of course, there's no movements and breath connection right here, so just continue that deep inhale and exhale. And then we'll come to stillness with those elbows. Keep them out there, and on the exhale, tap those elbows together. On the inhale, open those elbows up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Exhale, separate those shoulder blades apart, and inhale, and bring those shoulder blades right back together. Lift our hearts and just flow through that a couple more times. Exhaling and inhaling, connecting that movement and our breath. Good. And now let's release those hands and bring them to our side. I'm just going to turn to the side just a little bit. So just going to set those hands down to our side, just slightly behind our back, and then sit nice and tall. Sit nice and tall. And on our exhale, let's bring our chin to our chest and our right ear to our right shoulder. And breathe. And then inhale back to center and bring our left ear to left shoulder and breathe. Back to the center, inhale and exhale to the right. Inhale and exhale to the left. One more time each direction. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Now bring those hands, interlock those fingers, leave those thumbs free, and bring those hands behind the neck, thumbs pointing straight down your spine. Elbows back a little bit, squeeze between those shoulder blades, then bring them forward and just start rounding through your spine. Trying to just bring those elbows down to your legs. Don't pull on your neck, but just feel the stretch in the length of your spine from your neck down to your tailbone. And breathe. Let's go ahead and release back up. Very nice. Back to that seated position. Let's sit nice and tall. And exhale our chin to our chest and our right ear to right shoulder. Hands just beside our hips. So keep our right ear right to our right shoulder and breathe. And then take that right hand and just gently rest it on our left ear. And provide just a little bit of pressure. And then with that left hand, point the palm to that left hand to the left side of the room. Just straight out to your side. Watch your neighbors if you have some nearby. And just reach as far as you can through that arm. And breathe. And on our exhale, let's bring the hands down, release back to center. Same thing on the other side. Exhale, chin to our chest, left ear to left shoulder. That left hand gently rests on top of our right ear. A nice little nudge. Just be gentle. And then take that right hand, palm towards the side of the room and press and reach as far as you can. And release. Very nice. From here, let's lengthen our legs out in front of us. And we're going to sit nice and tall. It's called staff pose. Staff pose. Bring our toes toward our shins. Sit nice and tall to where it feels like there's some effort going on here. Because there's a lot of effort. If I keep you here for a long time, we're going to start breaking out in beads of sweat. So you feel those hip flexors working that core and that spine sitting nice and long. We're going to start inhaling up nice and tall, and then exhale and fold. And just dynamically start moving that way. And do that 4 more times for me. Inhale up and exhale. Now we're working on the spine a little bit. Just get a little spine health here to get the spine warmed up. Our spine moves in 6 directions. We're working forward and back right here. And then we'll hit the other 4 in just a moment. When you're done with a total of 5 of these, just starting to feel those hamstrings and glutes and lower back loosen up a little bit. That's good. All right. And right back to center. Let's place that left hand on the ground and that right hand. We'll inhale it up toward the sky and just reach nice and high. With that left hand on the ground, just push into the ground so that our hips drive a little bit more to the right side, making sure it feels just right and not too much. As the wise Guru Pitka once said, did that hurt when you did it? Then don't do it. That's right. So we're not trying to find something that hurts here. Exhale, that right hand down. Inhale that left hand up. So the second 2 angles of our spine are side to side. And we're reaching through those left fingertips and breathing. Right hand pressing into the floor. And if you don't know who Guru Pitka is, that's Michael Myers in The Love Guru. There you go. Dave still has jokes. All right. Exhale those down. Let's keep our right leg straight and put a little bend into our left knee. Keep it nice and tall. And then we'll bring those hands to prayer facing right towards the front. And with our left hand only, inhale and open up our heart, face the left side, and exhale. Bring those hands back to prayer like you're clapping those hands. With that knee bent, you're probably feeling a little bit of core activation right there as well, and that's good. So we're rotating side to side. Let's do a couple more of these. So the reason why we move our spine in these 6 directions is after the age of 26, which was just like a couple days ago for me. We're going to do this 2 more times. After the age of 26, our blood flow doesn't naturally go into our spine anymore. So the only way to get blood flow into places of our body is to move. That's why when we start to age and we sit a lot or just feel our spine kind of tightening up, moving is improving. By the way, I switch to the other side, right knee bent. Inhale as we bring that right hand back, and exhale as we bring those hands back together. And go ahead and give me 2 more inhales and exhales. All right. Very nice. We're going to find a plank position. We're going to find a plank position now. I'm just going to leave that right there. Hi, Karen. Hi, Sean. Very nice. So let's go ahead and find that plank position. And as we get into that, we're curling our toes. Okay, keeping our shoulders right above those hands. Digging those hands in so the center of our palms feel like they're lightly lifting up off our mat. And just creating a long, long body, ears through those shoulders and hips and knees and heels. We can also be on our knees right here. Okay, so we're just going to do about 8 to 10 push-ups, either on our knees or our toes. And as we do that, try to scrape those elbows past our ribs on the way down, about a half push-up, and press right back up. When I mean half push-up, those shoulders and elbows are about parallel to the ground. Okay, just try to feel that. Don't worry if you can't see it. I can't see what I'm doing, and so I'm just feeling it. And what feels right for me, that may not feel right for you. And so we just find what feels right for each of us. As we do about 8 to 10 push-ups, knees or toes. Good, just starting to warm up through our shoulders and our upper body. Good. When we're done with those, we're going to lower all the way down to the ground. Keep those hands right there by those shoulders. And we're going to do Cobra. And so from here, we're going to bring those elbows back, squeeze those shoulder blades together, press those hands into the ground just a little bit, engage our lower back, squeeze our glutes just a little bit, and try and feel those muscles that border our spine. Nice. And then exhale and release down. Let's do that 2 more times with variations. This first time, same thing. Inhale and lift and breathe. And then exhale, right back down. And this last time with a variation, bring it on up. Inhale, and then take a peek over your right shoulder and feel something different there. And take a peek over your left shoulder and feel something on the left side there. Good. Exhale, on down. Whew. From here, we're going to press up. So curl those toes, squeeze those quads, squeeze those glutes and the core, and try to come straight up to that plank position, bringing your whole body with you. Just press on up, knees or toes. Good. And without moving our hands or feet, we're going to press back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Outstanding. From down dog, I'm going to turn and face you. You stay right where you're at. From downward dog, we get those nice long arms, soft bend in those elbows. Bring those ears between those arms. Keep our spine nice and long and our hips up toward the sky. Go ahead and pedal those heels if you're not doing so already, just to get a nice stretch of those calves and heels and arches. And then from some stillness, we're going to take that right foot and walk it to the outside of both hands. Okay, whether that foot's next to the hands or halfway, it doesn't matter. Just do what works for you. Press back to downward dog and left foot to the outside of the left, both hands. And then continue to alternate. Right foot to the outside of the hands and left foot. I call this down dog and spiders. Keep walking, working in through those hamstrings, through those glutes, working our upper body, drawing those legs forward. That works the core. What's not being touched right here? I can't think of what's not being touched right here. We just got a couple more. Give me one more to the right, one more to the left, and then we'll meet back in down dog for a moment, and we'll move on to the next thing. From down dog, step that right foot to the outside of the hands. Stay there. Step that left foot to the outside of the hands. Find a squat. Nice, deep squat. Wide stance right here. Now some of you are probably cursing my name. And that's okay, because Dave is a 4-letter word. Okay, so we're in this yogi squat. Compress those arms into the legs a little bit just to get some hip stretches right there. And then we're going to just reach across our body. So tuck that elbow into that right knee and reach to the outside of that right foot. Raise your left hand up toward the sky. Whew. All right. That's feeling good. That's feeling good. Bring that left hand down. Same thing other side. Block that elbow into the left leg and reach the right hand up toward the sky. Okay. All right. As we bring that hand back, okay, we're going to just start walking our feet in just a little bit and finding a forward fold. Now, if that forward fold raises those hands up off the ground, that's fine. Rest them on your shins, above or below your knees, or even with that block. If you have a block or a couch cushion, or even one of those kids that may be doing yoga with you today. I'm kidding around right there, of course. Whew, all right. From this forward fold, we're settling in just a little bit. Just allow ourselves to let those arms hang, crown of our head fall towards the floor. Allow our breath to just be nice and deep. And let's relax. Space between our teeth as we relax our jaw. You can interlock those arms as options. You can grab onto the shins or heels as options, or toe lock. And just find something that feels right for you. Up the back of those legs and into those glutes and hips and lower back. All right. From here, we're going to inhale up to chair pose. So we're going to place a little bend in our knees and our tailbone's coming down towards the ground, thumbs up towards the sky, or those hands to heart center. Okay. And those feet and knees can be together or separated. I'm just going to turn to the side as we do this. So I got my thumbs up, and we're sitting in chair poses and we're breathing. That breath helps us through this challenge. Now what I want us to do is just get a little bit deeper into this. So bring those hands back past the hips, rest those ribs on the top of those legs, and act like you're a downhill skier, and hang out right there. Keep on breathing. Keep on breathing. Make your body from the crown of your head to your tailbone parallel to the ground. Just visualize that you're doing that. And if you visualize it, then it's working for you. On our next big inhale, sweep those hands up nice and tall and keep those hands right there. Whew. Keep those hands right there. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, bring that right hand down. Bring that right hand down and reach those left fingertips up to the sky for a side bend. Reaching as high as we can, pressing our hips to the left side of the room and shifting our body weight into that left foot. And while we're here, take that right hand and bring it behind our back. Behind our back. And then as we stand tall, take that left hand, grab onto the right wrist, and make a wing on the left side. Exhale our chin to our chest and our left ear, left shoulder. Relax our jaw, space between our teeth. Really sink it into those neck and shoulder muscles. This should feel good, especially after that early part that we did. Very nice. Let's release there. Inhale. Both hands up, nice and tall. Exhale. Left hand down only. Reach those right fingertips up toward the sky. Look at those fingertips as we press our hips to the right side. Weight of our body shifts into that right foot. And keep reaching, lengthening the side of our body. And when we're ready, walk that left arm behind our back. Let's stand tall. Right hand grabs onto the left wrist. Pull it through. Make a wing on the right side. Exhale, chin to our chest, right ear, right shoulder. Space between our teeth, and relax our jaw. Very nice. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Rest your thumbs on your heart. Mountain pose or restful state pose. Child's pose is also that. Anytime you need a breather as we get going into this next part. Mountain pose or child's pose. I've got 3 variations of a sun A I want to do. Just because the audience is large, I don't know who the audience is fully, so you get an option to choose which one works best for you as we continue with our practice. We'll start with just plank to down dog. Okay. So from the front of our mats, we're going to inhale up nice and tall. Shoot those hands up and exhale and forward fold down. On our next inhale, we'll drape those hands across those legs, resting below our knees. Nice long spine for this half lift. And that spine is nice and long, crown of our head to our tailbone. As we exhale, set those hands down, step back to plank position or onto our knees. And then from here, go straight to downward dog. Curl those toes and lift those hips. Ears between those arms. On the next inhale, we look forward, step forward, bend those knees, exhale, and inhale, sweep up nice and tall, and exhale right back to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up and exhale and fold. Inhale up, flat back, exhale, hands down, step back to plank, knees or toes, your choice. Exhale, right back to downward facing dog, ears between those arms, settle those arches. On the inhale, we can step or a little bend in those knees, and hop forward, exhale into those knees, sweep up nice and tall, and exhale to heart center. On the inhale, we're adding cobra now. Inhale, reach, exhale, fold. Inhale, up to flat back, and exhale, step back to plank, knees or toes. We're going to lower all the way to the ground, elbows scraping those ribs, and then inhale, squeeze between those elbows, press those hands in, just lift the chest and shoulders off the mat. Exhale, bring those chest and shoulders back down, curl those toes, either through the knees or toes, press back, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step or hop forward, sink into those legs, exhale, and inhale up, nice and tall, right back to heart center. One more time on that one. Inhale, up, exhale, fold, inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, step back. We lower all the way down to the ground, and then just lift our chest and shoulders up, cobra, and then exhale, press the chest and shoulders back down, and then curl those toes as we find downward facing dog. Inhale as we step or hop forward, sink into those legs, exhale, inhale, sweep nice and tall, and exhale to heart center. Full on Sunny, adding the chaturanga, the half push-up. Inhale up, exhale, fold, inhale up, flat back, exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Inhale, rock forward. That protects those shoulders. You have a choice here, knees or toes on that push-up. We'll come on down to that half push-up and inhale, lift our crown. If we're on our knees, that's cobra too. Or if we're on the shoelace side of our feet, upward facing dog. On the next exhale, curl those toes, lift those hips, ears between those arms, downward facing dog. Inhale, step or hop forward. Exhale, bend those knees and sweep up nice and tall. Exhale to heart center. We'll do 4 more just like that. Inhale, reach, and exhale, fold. Of course, you can also do the other 2 options. Inhale, up, flat back, or exhale, step on back. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, lift that crown, cobra, upward dog. Exhale, press back, downward dog. Inhale, step or hop forward and sink into those legs. Sweep up nice and tall and exhale, heart center. Inhale, reach forward and exhale, come on down. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, step it back. Inhale, rock forward, and exhale, that half push-up. Inhale, look up, and exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale as we step or hop forward, and sweep those hands nice and tall. Exhale, right back to heart center. Inhale, reach for the stars. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, press it back. Again, rock forward, protect those shoulders. Exhale, then half push-up. Inhale, bring it on up. Exhale, face back down, down dog. Inhale as we step or hop forward. Sink into those legs. Exhale, and sweep up nice and tall, right back to heart center. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, bring it back. Inhale, rock forward. Make your way through your vinyasa flow. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Stay right there. Stay right there. I'll let you finish out where you're at and we'll find downward facing dog. Whew. All right. Looking good, folks. Looking good. All right. I'm going to turn the face towards you. You stay facing right where you're at. From downward dog, let's take that right heel and let's float it up to the sky for a 3-legged dog. 3-legged dog. From here, we're going to do 2 knee pulls. So we're going to bring that right knee towards the right elbow, and then inhale, that right heel back up to the sky. Do that one more time. Knee to elbow and inhale that heel. And then on our next exhale, set that right foot between our hands. Glue that left foot on the ground completely and then float those hands up. Warrior One pose. Good. So both heels to toes on the ground. That front knee is right towards those pinky toes. Arms up, shoulders rolled down. Shoulders squared out to the front and hips slightly coming forward. And just think about what the hip feels like and that back knee and that ankle and make sure it feels right for you. Stay right here. I'm going to turn to the side. So from Warrior One, from Warrior One, we're going to open up to Warrior Two. Take an inhale and then exhale, Warrior Two. Front knee and foot stays right where they're at. The only thing that changes is that back foot to point towards the side. Nice and long arms, front and back without locking those elbows. And then just think about our posture. Ears over shoulders, over hips. Straight up and down. We're not leaning forward, we're not leaning back. Okay, so our body is being carried evenly by both feet and both legs. Outstanding. Good. From here, take that front hand, make a fist, but put that thumb up toward the sky, like everything's okay. Take that back hand, open the palm toward the side, and then just reach for that front hand like we're pulling a bow and arrow, and keep that elbow back and keep that hand back like we're holding on to that bow and arrow. And then little pulses on that front leg. Just little pulses, feeling a deeper stretch on that back leg, and focus your eyes on that thumb. Give you something to concentrate on. That's called our drishti in yoga, or just what are you looking at? Okay? As we come to stillness right here, we're going to point this arrow up toward the sky and drop that left hand just resting it on our leg. Open up that right hand, palm to the back of the room, reverse warrior. Not that back hand, we can keep it on the leg or tailbone or wrap it completely around our waist. And breathe as we reach. Inhale, reach higher. Exhale, hang on. Exhale and hang on. Good. Moving towards right angle pose, take an inhale, and then exhale, right forearm on top of the leg, avoid the knee, back hand up toward the sky. You need something a little bit more, use that ground or use that block and find that right angle pose that best works for you. You want something a little bit different, let's take that right hand and just grab it onto our left hip. Just bring it across our body like it's a belt. And we can take that top hand and extend it bicep to our ear and make a straight line from our fingertips to our heels. All right, that looks great. I bet that front leg is screaming right now. So let's get out of this and do a vinyasa flow. Come back to plank. There we go. All right, rock forward, inhale. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift our crown. And exhale, back down to downward facing dog. Whew. All right, feeling good right there. Looking good right there. We're going to do that same thing on to the other side. Left heel floats up nice and high. Three-legged dog, two knee pulls. We'll bring that left knee to that left elbow and inhale that heel back to the sky. And we'll do that one more time. Exhale as we draw it forward. Inhale as we lift it up. And then exhale, set that foot between the hands, gluing the right heel down, stabilize, and find Warrior One. Good. Then we sink into it. Just recognizing right side and left side might feel a little different, and that's okay. Just be mindful of how we're moving our body today. Okay, stay right there. I'm going to switch and face the side. From Warrior One, take a nice big inhale and open up to Warrior Two. Front knee and toe stay right where they're at. They don't move. That back foot goes perpendicular, arms out like we're trying to reach the opposite side of the room. Good posture right here. Again, ears over shoulders, over hips. And then let's take that front hand, make a fist with thumbs up toward the sky. Everything is A-OK, says the Fonzarelli. Good. With that back hand, let's reach forward, grab that bow and arrow and pull it back. Keep that elbow high and hold that bow back right there. A lot of strength. Feel that between your shoulder blades right now. You can feel something. Good. On our inhale, we're going to point. We're going to point that arrow up toward the sun. Point it up toward the sun. Drop that right hand down on our leg. Open up that left hand, palm to the back of the room behind you. And then just adjust that back hand to what best suits you. All right. Good. Still sinking into that front leg, but you know you can always straighten it. You can always straighten it if you want. Okay. Let's find that right angle pose now. So breathe in deeply and then exhale. Left forearm to the top of that leg or the inside part of that leg. Back hand up toward the sky. We can also just keep it right there on the hips. All right. And then if we want a little bit of a variation, extending that right angle and then left hand onto the right hip. Just reaching across our belt line with that left hand. It causes us to use our core just a little bit extra. Okay. All right. Whew. That left leg's feeling something now. So we're going to come out of it. We're going to press back to plank position. Back to plank position. Let's do a vinyasa flow. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift our crown. And exhale back to downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale that right heel to the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it through. Runner's lunge. Stay right there. Stay right there in runner's lunge. I'm going to turn to the side. So in runner's lunge, our weight of our body is being held in our hands right now. So we're going to hover, which means squeeze our abs, let those ribs touch the tops of our quads, and engage our core so that our hands just lightly either touch the ground or not at all. That back heel is up. It's staying off the ground. We can separate those feet just a little bit if you want to. And then thumbs to the back of the room. Sweep those hands up. Crescent pose. Crescent pose. Good. Stay right there, and I'm going to face you. Stay right there, and I'm going to face you. From crescent pose. We're going to go into twisted prayer. Bring those hands to heart center. And begin leaning forward. Lengthen your spine. Then bring that left elbow to the outside of that right leg. Pressing those hands together. Feel those fingertips and feel those palms pressing toward each other. Give them a little bit of tension as we press in. You can always reduce the range of motion as you come into this twisted prayer. So breathe through this and feel something that feels right. Good. I'm going to turn back to the side now. You stay right there. As we release our hands and come back to center, both hands come forward in front of that right foot, and that left foot comes off the ground. Lift that heel, and just make that foot or that back leg about parallel off the ground. Hips and shoulders square to the ground. It's half moon time, folks. So with half moon, we're going to stabilize that right hand on the ground and lift that left hand up toward the sky. So we're only standing on our right foot and our right hand. Excellent. So we're trying to stack through our shoulders, our ribs, and our hips, pointing your toes on that left foot. And just think about fingertip to fingertip, your length. You're long. Crown your head to your heels. You're long. Okay? As we gently will make a dismount here, we're going to come back to Warrior Two. Good. Very nice. Good. Now lengthen that front leg. Keep those Warrior Two arms. Breathe in, fill those lungs, and then begin reaching as far as you can. As those hips go to the back, you're reaching to the front, triangle pose, hinge over, and rest that hand above or below our knee or on that block that's nearby. Whew. All right. Looking up, looking down, and finding what works the very best for your body today. We don't use our bodies to get to the pose. We use the pose to get into our bodies. And that's why it's so special. Exhale back to Warrior Two. Very nice. Good. Let's cartwheel those arms around and down. Vinyasa flow time. Back to that plank position. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, lift that crown. Exhale. Face back down. Left heel floats up. Nice and high. Three-legged dog. Inhale up. Exhale. Bring that leg through. Runner's lunge. And let's hover that runner's lunge. Which means initially hands down on the ground. And then squeeze those abs. Rest those ribs on top of your quads so that you have the stability to move those hands around. Awesome. I'm just going to stay facing you right here. You've already seen the side view of this. From here, let's just bring those thumbs on up to the sky and to the back of the room. Good. Front knee towards those pinky toes. Back heel up off the ground. Great stretch on that back hip. Shoulders rolled down and away from our ears. Twisted prayer time. Let's bring those hands to prayer. Lean forward, lengthen that spine. On the exhale, right elbow to the outside of that left leg. Press those hands together. Push them together ever so lightly, ever so slightly, but enough to keep your body engaged and that spine long and that breath free flowing. Whew, all right. As we come out of this, I'm going to turn to the side and we're going to bring those hands forward. We're going to find that 3-point balance yet again. So both hands on the ground, left foot on the ground. We're standing on one foot and two hands. And then from here, half moon pose. Left hand stays on the ground. Right hand reaches up toward the sky. Right toes pointing towards the front. Good. Stacking. Fingertip to fingertip. Crown of your head to heel. Feel those two directions. Feel your body lengthening in both directions. Outstanding. Nice and slow and be in control. Come back to warrior two. Good. Whew, let's lengthen that front leg. And then take a big inhale. Exhale. Reach as far as we can go. Reach as far as we can go and then tip over. Tip over. Triangle pose. All right. What a great group we have this morning. Great group. This yoga community we have together. Such an amazing community. Such an amazing community. I'm always so honored to lead this class, to lead this group. Thank you so much for trusting my guidance. Let's come back to warrior two. Cartwheel down and around. Let's go through a vinyasa flow as we press back to plank position. Outstanding. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, lift up. Or inhale, lift up. Exhale, come back down. Inhale that right heel up toward the sky. We're going to go ahead and bring it through to the front of our mats. Glue that left foot down, warrior one. We've been here before. Okay. Good. Standing nice and tall. Little arch in that back. Squeeze that back glute a little bit. Let's take our hands and open them up nice and wide. Good. Almost as if we're just sitting back, squeezing those shoulder blades toward each other, lifting our heart just a little bit higher. Outstanding. From here, bring those hands all the way behind us. Interlock those fingers and draw those hands past our tailbone. Past our tailbone. Just naturally lifting our heart a little bit more and drawing those shoulders down and away from our ears. Okay, from here, we're going to keep those hands back there or just resting on our hips as an option. Okay, and find warrior three. Warrior three with interlocked arms. So, we're going to begin leaning forward, then lifting that left heel up off the ground. Trying to keep our hips and shoulders square to the ground. Keeping those shoulders rolled back and down, because guess what? We have no choice if our hands are right there. That gives us confidence and strength in this position. It's okay to wobble, and it's okay to stumble. As we come on down, let's go and release those hands and come all the way down to a runner's lunge with that back knee down on the ground. Okay, right knee above the ankle. I'm going to turn and face you. Runner's lunge, knee down. So left hand stays right there to the inside of the leg. Twisted little lunge with that knee down. Just reach up nice and high, and that'll help us reach into that left hip a little bit more. So just try and stack through fingertip to the fingertip or through those shoulders as we open our heart up to the right side and keep that right knee still coming towards our heart center. Exhale that right hand down. Let's crawl up our right leg with both hands and then inhale that left hand up and over, side bend. Press our hips to the left side. Lengthen the left side of our body. Point those fingers to the right. And look at that hand up in the sky. Such a great feeling right there. A great stretch to open up through those hips. Exhale, hands down. Let's step back to plank position. Back to plank position. One more vinyasa flow. How about that? Exhale, come down. And inhale, lift up, cobra, upward dog. And exhale, back to downward dog. Whew. All right. Left heel floats up, inhale. Exhale, bring that left foot through. Let's find warrior one as we glue that right foot down and lift up. Okay, again, knees toward our pinky toes on that left side and feeling just right in warrior one. We're gonna open up our heart nice and wide. Open up our heart, bring those arms out to the side. Maybe palms up to the sky, squeeze those shoulder blades together as we arch back. This is an opportunity to just surrender into this pose. And then we'll let those arms carry all the way back. Interlock those fingers and draw those hands past our tailbone. And let's find warrior three with those hands staying right there. So, from warrior one, lean forward. Lift that right heel up off the ground. Lengthen that left leg. Good. And just find that depth that works for you. It's okay to experiment. It's okay to try new things. It's okay to wobble. That's how we grow. We don't always grow if we're staying in safe places with our body and with our mind. As we exhale, bring those hands down and step back to that runner's lunge. Let that right knee down, shoelace side of that back foot, left knee still over that left ankle. I'm gonna face again back towards you. Good, twisted low lunge from here, right hand to the instep, left hand reaches up nice and high. Good, that opens up that right hip a little bit more. And then make sure that left knee is still coming towards our heart center. Let's exhale, that's left hand down. We'll crawl up that left leg just a bit to stand tall. And then inhale that right hand up and lean over again, pressing our hips to the right side of the room. And breathe. Breathe, fill those lungs. As we exhale, the hands down. Step back to plank position. Go straight to downward dog. And then on the inhale, step those feet forward to the front of our mat and sweep those hands up nice and tall. Exhaling to heart center. Rest those thumbs on our heart. Take a moment in mountain pose. A little restful state. I need a little agua. Maybe you should take some too. All right. Let's get right back to it. Some balanced postures. Some balanced postures. I'm going to turn just a little bit to the side here. We're going to start with a knee lift. So our right foot's going to stay right on the ground. Dig those toes into our floor, to the mat to strengthen that arch and lock that right knee into place. With our left knee, lift it up and just hold on to that left knee with both hands initially. Okay? So we're just going to stay right here. And then we're going to slide that left hand down by our ankle and either find a quad stretch and stay right there in quad stretch, or shift that hand to the inside of our left ankle and onto the foot, and begin pressing that foot into the hand as we reach the right hand forward in the opposite direction to find dancer pose. Dancer pose. Balance, control, stability, clearing our mind, calming our breath, focusing our drishti, our eyes, on a focal point. And an amazing heart opener and hip opener. As we exhale, release it down gently and with control. Nice. Same thing, other side. That left foot digs in a little bit. We get that pada bandha, that foot lock on that mat. Right knee comes up. Hold onto it with both hands. Good. A little balance even right there. You're welcome to stay right here in this one. If this is what works for you based on what you just saw, that's fine. Crawl that right hand down to the ankle, quad stretch, knees side to side, hips forward, or flip that hand and find dancer. Push that foot or ankle into the hand and reach opposite directions. Ooh, I'm wobbling. There we go. So it doesn't matter that you fall. What matters is how we respond, not react. How we respond to that stumble. Do we just let it go? Do we just keep ourselves calm, breathe through it, and say, well, I tried. Move on. Good enough. Good enough. Okay, exhale and release down. So if you have neighbors beside you, maybe stagger a little bit on this next one. A hand to toe action. So right foot stays on the ground. Left knee lifts up. Left knee lifts up and just hold it right there. Now you're welcome to take that left hand, just support it right there. Another option, lengthen that leg and press it straight forward. Another option, interlock left fingers, peace fingers and thumb. Grab onto that big toe, interlock and cap it off with the thumb. And now we're going to externally rotate. We're going to put that left foot off to the left side of the room. Maybe bringing that right hand out just to counterbalance. Okay. And then we'll exhale back to center. Do the best you can. It's okay. All right. Then that right hand is going to grab onto that foot, and that left hand points to the back of the room. And then let's try something new. Let's peek back at that hand behind us. Okay? And just see what happens. Okay? All right. Ooh. I'm wobbly. I'm almost falling. And that's okay. Because I wouldn't be falling if I didn't try that today. All right. There we go. I better come out before I completely fall on my face. All right. Left foot down. Same thing. Other side. So again, bring that right knee up. Again, we can keep it bent the whole time. Okay? Or we can lengthen it. As we open it up, we can also use that hand right there. I didn't show that previously. Okay, right hand interlocks on that big toe. Cap it off with your thumb. Okay, and then we're going to bring it out to the side. Again, you can also have that hand to the instep of your knee. Right, reach and lengthen our bodies. Okay, let's bring it back to center. Front and center, left hand on that right big toe now. Right hand behind us, right behind us. And then take a peek behind you. See what we got today. See what we got today. Oh, much more steady on this side. There we are. Much more steady on this side. My wife's over there, and she just toppled over, but I'm not making fun of her. There's no judgment. There's no judgment. Exhale, back to center, and on down. Very nice. Good. Hands to heart center. Let's inhale up, nice and tall. Let's exhale and forward fold. Inhale up to flat back, and exhale, step back, plank position. We're going to lower all the way down to the ground and lay down. I mentioned this yesterday. Forward fold is a great pose to be in to battle anxiety and stress. So it's just laying right here with our hands on our forehead and our elbows out to the side and just relaxing. If we stay here for 10 minutes, which we're not going to do, but if we do, that will help reset our nervous system. Get us from that fight or flight, anxious, stressful state to that restful state. From here, just bring those fingertips on the forehead, elbows stay up, and just peel our chest and shoulders up. Peel our chest and shoulders up. Good. I call this one bad attitudes, or another name for this is called 7-up butt squeeze. 7-up butt squeeze. So squeeze that butt. Exhale and bring it down. Good. Let's do that one more time. Now, if that was a challenge, you can always just leave one hand on the ground. Inhale, lift. One hand on the ground and push. Off that, or just give yourself some support. That's fine. Good. And then exhale and release down. That's a good one just to strengthen our lower back, which is part of our core. Now I'm going to face towards you. And I want you to see this head on. Okay. So I'm right here just laying on the ground just like we were. I'm going to bring my feet out nice and wide, toes pointed down towards the ground. Left hand reaches forward, claws forward. Right hand comes underneath that left arm. Initially, a gentle shoulder stretch. Just come over the top of that shoulder and just feel a nice stretch. Okay? And then from here, we're going to take that left hand. Keep those legs wide and point that left hand up toward the sky And then lift your heart up toward the sky. Just roll over. Just roll over. Keeping those legs right where they're at so that we're now in a twisted position. Okay, now if you need a little bit of more of adjustment on that left leg, then just take that right hand and move that left leg around. It's a great stretch for our lower back and into our hips. Good. And just breathe and soften that breath. As we exhale, come right back to that face down position. Feet stay wide. Right hand crawls forward, claws forward. Take that left hand, thread the needle, and just find a little gentle stretch on the front of that left shoulder. Okay. Good stretch right there. Now with that right hand, you're going to begin reaching it up. And we're going to just turn over. Just going to turn over. Maybe trying to bring our shoulder blades down to the ground. Okay, keeping those feet right where they're at. And if you need to, take that left hand and move that right leg around. Inhale and exhale. Let's exhale back to front and center, face down. Good. And then we're just going to find ourselves in a seated position. So just whatever way you want to get there works for me. All right. From this seated position, we'll have our knees bent, heels on the ground. We're going to find boat position and work that core a little bit extra, a little balance in some core. So we can initially just grab one behind those knees and find that position on our Ishiotuberosities. And that kind of rhymes, and I didn't try to make it rhyme. I mean, because what rhymes with Ishiotuberosities? Who knows? That just means our butt bone. Good. We can lengthen our legs, we can bring our hands out to the sides, or we can keep our fingertips just right on the ground, and we're holding this boat pose. And this is not the first time we're going to do it. We're going to do it one more time. So we exhale and just come down and find that seated child's pose. Good. Now we'll do that one more time. Let's come right back into it. Kick those toes up. Again, knees bent or long legs. It's totally up to you. Good, tall posture, ears over shoulders. Excellent. Breathing, breathing. We're in control right here, aren't we? Absolutely we are. From here, keep those legs nice and long. Nice and long, and just set them down. We'll inhale up nice and tall and exhale and forward fold. Forward fold. Just reach it as far as we can. And when you can reach no further, you just stabilize by grabbing onto the feet, the ankles or shins, or just rest those hands beside the legs. Okay, again, not trying to go too far. Not trying to go too far. Again, ask yourself, did what you did hurt you? Then don't do it. All right, so on that exhale, let's just come down onto our mats. We're going to lay down onto our backs. And as we lay down, we're going to have a bend into our knees, and we're going to do a pigeon pose on our backs. Okay, so I'll turn a little bit to the side, or turn around a little bit. Okay, so from our knees bent, I'm going to take my left ankle and rest it above my right knee. Okay, toes toward the shins on that left foot. And then take those hands and shoot through that figure four. And either grab in front of my knee or behind my knee. And just sit back and draw your knee towards the crown of your head. Towards the crown of your head. Bringing that left knee closer towards your heart. Okay, and if you want a little something extra here, take that right leg and just press the heel up toward the sky. Get a little hamstring stretch and a hip opener. All in the same stretch. That's what we call in the yoga world, buy one and get one free. There we go, it's the yoga Groupon today. Whew, all right. Good stretch for the hips there. Those hips should feel really good. They should feel really loosened up right now. Let's go ahead and exhale and bring that right foot down to the ground. And we'll do the same thing onto the other side. On the other side, so right ankle above that left knee, and then shoot through the gap with those hands. Pick that left foot up off the ground. Good. And just bring that left knee towards the crown of your head. And if you want, lengthen that left leg. All right. And go ahead and release down. I've got one more thing for us to do before our closeout. I'm going to turn all the way back. So it's our hands to our side. Let's just bring both feet up toward the sky. So we're not supporting ourselves with a block or anything. I don't know what equipment you have. If you have a block, you can place it under your tailbone and under your hips, or a couch cushion or a pillow. Okay, from here, happy cow. So we're going to take our right knee and cross it over our left knee. And then from there, we're going to reach our hands to the outside of our ankles and just draw our knees a little bit closer to our hearts. Okay, so apply pressure, pull on those ankles a little bit with those hands. Draw that knee towards both knees towards your heart, and then you'll feel a deep stretch in through the glutes on the top leg. So in this case, the right leg. And then same thing, other side. Bring those legs back up, cross, left over right. Reach with those hands to the outside of the ankles. And then draw your knees towards your heart. Again, it might take a little pressure. That's okay. And then feel that deep stretch in through our glutes. It's working those piriformis. Some of those muscles that's really close to that sciatic nerve. That thing starts to growl at us when those muscles get a little bit inflamed or don't create the space that that nerve needs. It's all about good space. Very nice. Let's exhale and release. From here, we're going to find Shavasana. Shavasana. And I'm going to dim my lights. And I'm going to come forward and as we get into Shavasana, we just find a comfortable spot on our floor, on our mats, wherever we're at. Be seated, we can be laying down. Okay, and we're just going to do this for just a couple minutes. In my playlist, if you want Deep Sleep Part 1, would be a good song to play. Or Kiss the Rain, totally up to you. Just go ahead and switch to that. And for about 3 minutes, if you have no music, we're just going to sit in silence. So as we find that Shavasana, find the most comfortable spot wherever you're at right now, in the present moment. Treat it as a gift. We relax those eyelids on our eyes. Our breath is just normal. A normal everyday breath. Don't think about the breath. Just let it happen. Release the tension in our hands, in our glutes, between our shoulder blades, and in our feet. Create space between your teeth. Relax your jaw. And allow yourself to find stillness. Stillness. And as we find this stillness, it gives our mind and our body to discover how we feel right now. What strides we made with our practice today. I'll silence my voice for the next several minutes. Let's begin re-engaging with our breath. Deep inhale, long, smooth exhale. And several more just like that. Use that breath to feel refreshed, to feel restored, and to reawaken our minds and our body. Then at your own pace, begin wiggling those toes and fingers, encircling your wrists and ankles, moving ever so slightly. And then as you find comfort, if you want to bend those knees and roll to one side, allow yourself to spend some time there. It's comforting and calming. And then we'll complete our journey today in a seated position with our hands at heart center and eyes closed. I'm so grateful that we did this today, that we had the opportunity to be present. It certainly is a gift. Allow ourselves to be in the moment, to deepen our practice, to allow our practice to be something where we continue to hone our skills so that we can apply our practice off the mat. Our closing message. Life is a balance between what we can control and what we cannot. And our task is to learn to live between the effort and surrender. And our challenge is to hold on to those things that keep us alive and let go of those things that keep us from living. I honor the love and light in each of you as it's also within me. Namaste.